everyone should meet 7-year-old Goldendoodle Cecil. It's a Goldendoodle who has been basically running his owner's home for the last 5 years. Very cute dog. Now, according to his mama, Clayton Law, he's overall a pretty good doggo and well-mannered. Cecil had never torn up items in the house before until recently, and it was a doozy. Cecil's a goofy guy and he's very particular. You could leave a steak on the table and he wouldn't touch it because he's not food motivated. I wish I wasn't food motivated, but apparently he is money motivated. So what does this mean? Well, apparently she and her husband were trying to erect some sort of fence around their home. And so they pulled out cold hard cash, thousands of dollars, $4,000 to be exact, in order to pay the workers in cash. That is what they preferred and they were willing to oblige. Now, Carrie and her husband, Clayton, were having this fence installed, and this is in Pittsburgh, and apparently 30 minutes after Clayton had brought the money home from the bank, he was met with tiny pieces of chewed up $150 bills, and they were strewn across the home. Now he was shouting, "Cecil ate $4,000. I ran in thinking I had to have heard him wrong, but when I saw the mess, there was no doubt. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Cecil had really done it." He has never really done anything bad before, so we were more shocked than angry. We couldn't believe it. We looked at each other and said, "What are we gonna do?" So here's evidence of the carnage. I mean, absolutely tragic. But the two decided to put their heads together. They jumped to action and tried to salvage what they could. They put some of those torn up bills together. They were able to piece together about $1,500 off the bat right away. After calling the bank and explaining what had happened, apparently the bank let them know this is actually pretty common and there is a solution. The manager explained that the bank would take back any bills that had been taped together with the full serial numbers visible on the front and back, Carrie added. The Bureau of Engraving and Printing also generally requires that at least half of each bill is salvageable. Now, $2,500 were still sitting in Cecil's belly as the waiting game commenced. Now, what do I mean by waiting game? Well, apparently, late that first night, the dog vomited up a couple of the torn hundreds, but then more drastic measures were taken by the couple. Clayton, the husband, intrepidly donned a mask and gloves, grabbed a bunch of plastic bags, and accompanied Cecil on his backyard rounds over the next 2 days as the dog relieved himself. You know what they did? You wanna know what they did, John?
What'd they do?
They started looking through the dew.
That's what I was gonna guess.
They decided to do the do, okay? That is what they did. And
dirty work, but somebody's gotta do it.
They did recover some money. So they sifted through the dog's droppings and washed the torn bills with dish soap. Like, can you imagine that bank taking those torn up dollars? They were able to retrieve about $1,800 from his poop. So they recovered in total $3,550. That's insane. They were so motivated. I'd give up on the fence. I'm not going through his poop. I'm just, okay, I lost $4,000. Or, I mean, they recovered some of it right away, but without having to do the poop. But whatever was lost in his belly, it's gone forever. And I'm not gonna erect the fence. It's okay, I'll save up again. I don't know.
I think, I'm glad that you covered this story because I think that this potentially creates for us an interesting metric that everyone should know where they stand. How much money would the dog have to eat before you engage in this? Are you a $50 dog duty person? Are you a $5,000 dog duty person? Everybody's got a line. If that dog ate $100,000 of yours, Anna, I think you would be combing through the nuggets. But maybe I'm wrong. But everybody's gonna draw that line somewhere.
Listen, I pick up after my dog.
For me, the line is $1,300, by the way. I've thought long and hard about this.
Why $1,300? Why?
Feels right. you know.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. I don't know. I pick up Charlie's, what he leaves behind every time I walk him. I'm a good neighbor. I'm a good steward of the neighborhood. But I care about the neighborhood more than I care about myself, apparently, because I would not go through that poop to recover some of the money that he chewed up. I would be very upset with him. I would write him a strongly worded letter, much like members of Congress when it comes to serious matters that they fail to legislate on. And I would find no solution in doing that, but at least I did something and it wasn't going through poop. So that's where I stand on the issue. And Charlie would never do that. He's a good boy. Charlie's a very good boy.
He does have expensive taste though.
He does. He is a little bit of a prissy dog. You know what Cenk has said about Charlie? He said once, he's so elegant. And it made me so proud.
I think once you are a dog who routinely has your ear hair trimmed, yes, you are elegant, I think.
Fair enough.
When you will only sleep on handmade quilts, I think that yes, you're an elegant dog.
Fair enough, I'll take it.
If you enjoyed this video, that's because of our members. They make us independent, they make us strong, and they make us honest. Become a member today by hitting the join button below.